They don't succeed despite their disadvantages, they succeed because of them. His curiosity and his sense of adventure were and are his superpowers. You've hustled, you've hacked, you've influenced your way to a £1 million turnover company as a founder of that company. But the secret you're carrying, your past financial mistakes, that trauma that has been hanging off you for the last 10, 20 years, your mental health struggles that come with running a business, it all feels like a ticking time bomb. You're a successful founder, but you feel like a fraud. You're afraid that if anyone really finds you out, it'll all come crashing down. So you wear a mask, but the weight of the mask is weighing you down. And then it happens. Growth stalls. You stagnate, or worse, you start failing. That confidence that you built with sheer will is starting to fade away. But what if the problem wasn't your hustle, but the mask that you are wearing? What if you could turn your biggest disadvantage into your most powerful competitive edge? What if your disadvantage was actually your superpower? Over the past year, I've been researching for my book, Raising Titans, how you create the environment for young people to become massive change makers in society, because you and I probably agree that the leadership quality in the UK and abroad internationally is generally pants. And so in doing the research, both of historical figures and people who are alive today making a big difference, I have noticed one commonality. With the exception of one person, I've discovered that all of them had a childhood disadvantage. So this is not a podcast about personal development or self-help, because personal development is all about learning new stuff, reading more books, learning more hacks, learning how to hustle. But your hidden talent doesn't need more. It actually needs less. This is the Haroon Rabbani podcast, and we are here to unlearn the stuff. We peel back the layers of fear, of conditioning, and all the noise. We let go of all the things that are holding you back. And what's left? The authentic version of you. This is the authentic talent, the hidden talent. This podcast is not about self-help. It is about self-liberation. My name is Haroon Rabbani, and I am here to help you bring out your hidden talent and step into your titanhood. When we look at people like Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, Sarah Blakely, we are left with total certainty that these people are titans. They've left a mark on the world that is completely their own. It just is not possible to replicate who they are. It's not possible to replicate their unique impact. And the biggest mistake we can make is try to copy them, because by copying them, we are elating these titans and diminishing our true superpower. And in the process, we hide our insecurities, our voids, our fears, and we pretend they just don't exist, which is so not human. Now, I am not saying you should be totally vulnerable and expose everything about yourself to the world. This episode is about you and being aware of your own vulnerabilities, of your own disadvantages. But here's what I've discovered in researching titans. They don't succeed despite their disadvantages, they succeed because of them. One of my favorite stories in my book is about a boy whose father died when he was young. His mother remarried, and she didn't want to take him to the new husband and the new family, so she left him with his grandmother. This child was left to his own devices because his grandmother could only really nurture and feed him, but really did not give him the intellectual challenge he needed. So his mind became the playground where he created devices and objects that made him look strange. He was even socially awkward. But you know what? He was too busy being curious to be distracted by his disadvantages. That boy grew up to formulate the foundations of modern day physics and science. We are talking about Sir Isaac Newton. But his story isn't unique. If you look across the spectrum of those people who've made a great, massive impact on the planet, they've all come from a disadvantaged backgrounds. So they've turned their disadvantage to their advantage. And this is what I'm encouraging you to do, no matter how successful you think you already are. Or we can take a modern day example of Richard Branson, really known for his dyslexia. Had he allowed his dyslexia to take the better of his curiosity, then he wouldn't be the gentleman who has over 400 companies, and very successful ones at that. And did you know he famously learned about the difference in gross and net profit late into his life? We're talking about quite recently. And this is a man who'd already been running a business for decades prior to that. His curiosity and his sense of adventure were and are his superpowers. You see, the truth is, titans like this don't try to fix their disadvantages with all the therapy, and I'm not saying you shouldn't get that, but they leverage them. According to a study by AXA Health, 78% of business owners or entrepreneurs suffer from imposter syndrome. And we know this is rooted in the fear of being exposed. But what are the hidden disadvantages that could be sabotaging your success? They can vary anything from adverse childhood events, the feeling of being an outsider, like being poor compared to the peer group while you were going to school. The consequences of feeling unsafe or at risk while you're a child. It could be at home or at school. And by the way, these are three areas that I've been through myself. They can also be from present situations. So, for example, you could be suffering from the massive hormonal shifts due to perimenopause and menopause. Or it could be you are female. Or it could be that you've got a neurodiverse condition that you're trying to get to grips with and you're caught out and caught up in the negative aspect of it, like ADHD, where a lot of people procrastinate or they hesitate or they're feeling overwhelmed. And so it causes anxiety. Or it could be societal pressures of always being on, meaning constantly working silly hours. For example, being on every single social media platform. These aren't just personal problems, these are hidden anchors that are stopping your company's success. But what if you could flip the script? What if you can turn all of these disadvantages to your competitive edge? When I immigrated to England at the age of 4, English became my second language, and school was anything but easy for me. By the time I was 16, I just about knew what A levels were, but I had no idea what a career path looked like. My family, with the best intentions in the world, told me my only real options were to become a doctor or a pharmacist, but not a single soul was there to help me map out a journey. The careers advice at school was, well, let's just say it was pitiful. I was told by many people from my community that what is the point of studying? You're going to end up in the restaurant trade anyway. And this is exactly what people in Sunderland were. They were all in the restaurant trade and they did not expect me to do anything different to what they were doing. You see, people see through the lens of their own experience and their own knowledge. But if you've not had any exposure to anything outside of your own experience, you'll only see your world through that narrow lens. The truth is, I felt completely alone. I had no one to turn to, no one to guide me, and no one to show me the way. My journey through academia and my career after graduation was all trial and error. A lot of mistakes along the way, but I somehow did find success. I became a territory manager for a medical devices company and I became one of the top 3 performers in that particular company. Later on, I worked for another company and within 6 weeks of being given my territory, I was the number 1 person long after I'd even left. Along the way, 2 people had a profound effect on my confidence. My 2 Kung Fu teachers. My first one, Sifu Robert. He was like a father figure to me, especially at a time where I felt no connection to any other human being on the planet. He probably saved my life. And then Sifu Vince, my late mentor, who was also another father figure to me, as well as a mentor and guide. He had such an impact on my life. But here's the thing, both of these 2 amazing individuals were from the world of martial arts. But what about the rest of my life? What about my personal life, my career, my social life, not just martial arts? By 2002, I set up my training company, which was teaching entrepreneurs how to sell better in a more efficient and effective way, in a more ethical way. Eventually, that company morphed into me going and delivering workshops to schools and colleges up and down the country. I would give students the tools, the techniques, and the confidence to be able to reach much more higher, raise their aspiration, raise their grade levels, and be able to make better decisions in their lives. And in doing so, I realized that my greatest disadvantage of being alone, being disconnected, actually was my superpower. The very thing that I needed most as a teenager and then as a young adult going into college and university. Well, these are things that I could be giving young people. Not only have I become a mentor, and I've also created the space for other leaders to impact the lives of young people. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child. And so in the company that I created, Young Leaders Nexus, this is precisely what we're doing. Lots of highly experienced mentors, entrepreneurs, people who are making a great impact, titans, are mentoring these young people so that they can step into their true greatness so that we can create safe space for them to thrive. And if you want to learn how to do that, by the way, make sure you stay tuned to hear about how you can also do it for your community, how you can make a true massive impact. But it's not just childhood disadvantages that you can leverage. It could be a feeling that you're experiencing internally, and this is exactly what happened for my friend David Heiner. By the time he was in his 20s, he had a very successful catering company. He served people from all sorts of backgrounds, including companies, royalties, sports people, and so on. But he had this sense of feeling of mediocrity. Why is it that I've not felt like I've achieved much in my life? And so instead of wallowing in that, he decided to go and interview top achievers, find out how they think and behave, which is different to the ordinary Joe or Josephine public. Over the next few years, he interviewed 250 top achievers from across industries, across sectors, people who are really at the highest level of their game. And here's what he found out. Most important element for all of them was none of them, with the exception of one person, none of them actually set smart goals. They call their goals hairy or big or audacious and ginormous, but they never set smart goals. And in fact, one of them, Tim Watts from Pertemps, which was one of the biggest recruitment companies in Europe, when he found out that they were teaching smart goals at schools, he said to David, "Are you trying to tell me that our young people are being trained for mediocrity at best?" So as a result of doing all these interviews, David discovered this principle. He called it the massive goal principle, where he systematized, codified how to set massive goals. And he didn't just create something which is theoretical, he tested it out. And the very first time he tested it out, there were so many skeptics and cynics. He approached a charity to help raise money and break their fundraising record using one event. They had 8 full-time staff doing events, and he was one-man band. They used their own process, and he had his own process that he never tested it out. So he wanted to raise £50,000, but using the massive goal principle, he ended up with one event raising over £270,000. How amazing is that? That wasn't the end of it. He didn't just use the massive goal principle for charity. He ended up launching books, breaking records, and helping others to break records. And one of his goals for himself was to teach the massive goal principle to 1 million people. Over the next couple of decades, he actually, in person, he taught over 1.2 million people to set and achieve massive goals. So David took a deep sense of pain, something that was holding him back, this sense of mediocrity, and turned it into something that didn't just impact his own life, but impacted over 1.2 million people and growing. Today, David teaches this massive goal principle to coaches to help them deliver the same principle to a lot more people. This, my friend, is called leverage. One more story I want to share with you before I share how to turn your disadvantage into your advantage. You know how more and more people turn to Trustpilot and other review sites before buying a product or service? How did that come about? If you're from Britain, you will know that most customer services across the board is absolutely appalling. We complain, we vent, and then we just move on. We don't do anything about it. And I don't know if that's just a British thing, but it certainly happens far too often in the UK. But sometimes these disadvantages isn't something that's personally happened to you, but it's a flaw in the system. Take Vinay Palmer, another friend of mine and an expert in the customer experience field. Instead of wallowing in all the negativity that's going on, he lives in Britain, so he'll know the feeling. He decided to do something about it. Vinay saw something that we were all experiencing, the stress of terrible customer service. The feeling of just being a statistic, just being a number to a company that you're putting money in, of having your day soured because of this negative interaction. It's a common systemic flaw in businesses today. But where most people see nuisance, Vinay saw a mission. His driver wasn't a professional weakness or a childhood trauma that was very personal to him. It was a deep-seated belief that he could improve the quality of people's lives on earth one interaction at a time. He understood that memories, especially positive ones, are what truly matter to people. A return customer isn't driven by a product, they're driven by the feeling what a business left them with. Vinay's disadvantage was a universal problem with human experience that he chose to take on. His superpower was the unique empathy and expertise he developed to solve it. He transformed a global frustration into a powerful, impactful career, helping major companies like National Express enrich the lives of their customers. He didn't just fix a professional deficiency, he leveraged an external one to create an inimitable impact on the world. So, the 3 steps in transforming something that was a disadvantage to you into an advantage are as follows. Step 1: acknowledge the very thing that you're hiding, the thing that you're trying to disown, because that is a very valuable gift that you have. So, first of all, acknowledge it, stop running away from it, stop wallowing in that issue, because the past is the past, and of course, it helps build who you are. But right now, the present is what's most powerful for you. Step number 2: ask yourself this question: how is this an advantage for me? What are the learning lessons I've gotten from this issue? For example, as a child, my biggest issue was I have no one there for me. There's nobody guiding me. I feel lost. How is that a learning lesson? Every single child needs people around them, mentors around them. You know, you've heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. That's an African proverb. So the learning is, I wish I had a mentor or many mentors. But the question is, number 3, how is this the gift to the world? How can you make an impact on the world with that one single gift? For me, it's very simple. Either become a mentor to other young people or mentor other mentors to do the same thing. Perhaps bring entire communities around to support young people. Perhaps change society or the culture to think it takes a village to raise a child. Do those 3 steps. And if you need a mentor, if you need a guide, drop me a line and let's see if we can work together so that you can transform what is a passion into something that is super, super impactful. Now, you may have figured out everything by yourself. You may know exactly what you need to do. Maybe you've already done it. But here's the thing: there are about 8 billion people on the planet, and they're close to 7.99 billion people who don't know what you know, who don't have that gift. If that's the case, make sure you share this video with at least 3 people that you feel that person can do with support, do with guidance. And also make sure you comment as well as like and share with me the number 1 thing that you feel you can impact the world with. You've been watching the Haroon Rabbani podcast. My name is Haroon Rabbani and I will see you on the next episode.